Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. In this video, I've got two stories for you and both of them have updates. So let's get started with the first one. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user FairB4149. Am I the a-hole for shouting at my friend for showing off using my child? I, 35 female, have a friend group of 5 women, including me. We are all the same age and we have been friends since we were 13. 4 of us, me included, have kids, with my 5-week-old son being the youngest. The 5th friend, Emily, fake name, doesn't have kids and hasn't really ever been in a relationship that lasted longer than a couple of weeks. Emily works in a daycare center and has been working there for over 10 years. Nowadays, she mainly does admin work but sometimes covers shifts if someone is sick. So she has a lot of experience with kids even though she doesn't have any kids herself. The problem with Emily is that she likes to make it known how good she is with kids. So whenever we spend time together as a group with our kids, she acts like she knows best when it comes to kids. For example, if a kid is having a tantrum, she will insert herself in the situation instead of letting the mom take care of it. Or if a child is doing something it shouldn't, like eating too much candy, Emily will tell the child, "Don't listen to mommy, Auntie Emily says it's fine." She also does this at bigger gatherings, showing off her superior skills with kids while making us look like we don't know anything. I've talked about this with the other moms and they find it annoying as well. We thought about saying something, but we agreed that taking care of children is such a big part of Emily's identity that it would really hurt her. On to the problem at hand. A couple of days ago, we were hanging out again. Emily asked if she could hold my son and I said yes. A little later, the baby started to cry. I went over and tried to take him back. Emily wouldn't let me and kept saying she knows how to do it and tries rocking the baby. I knew my son was hungry, so no amount of rocking was going to stop him from crying. I asked Emily again just to give me the baby and she again refused. I was getting upset and asked again, and she just kept saying that she knows how to take care of a baby. I said, I know, but I need to take my baby. I was about to blow, but she had my son in her arms, so I didn't want to upset her. Suddenly, she tried to take the baby to the other room, but I stopped her and almost forcefully took my son from her. I was seething, and once I had set my son down, I let it all out. I shouted at her that she has no right to keep me from my child and that even with all her experience, she can't go over me when it comes to my child. I also told her that I'm sick of her trying to show off her skills using my child. She was really upset and left shortly after. I don't think anything I said was wrong, but am I the a-hole for shouting at her? My friends think it's something she needed to hear, but going off on her like that might have been too much. Don't listen to mommy, Auntie Emily says it's okay? Yeah, in my book, that's enough to call her an a-hole. Who the F does she think she is, man? And OP, you might think your reaction was harsh, but it was long time coming. Also, refusing to give you your baby 3 times and trying to walk away with it? No, I'm sorry OP, but I would have been upset too and probably told her off just the same. Now, even though Emily is an a-hole and a huge one at this point, you guys should have had a conversation about this with her a long time ago. I mean, if it's this much of a deal for all of you that all the other 4 friends find it absolutely annoying, then maybe in a one-on-one situation you could say something like, "Hey Emily, I appreciate all your insight and your knowledge, but when it comes to my kids, don't insert yourself. I'm the mom, so don't undermine me." And then carry on to any other conversation. And what is your judgment? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Leah Irek says, not the a-hole. You should never need to repeat the phrase, "give me back my baby." Once most certainly is enough. And if she resists you on that point, please make her explain exactly how many times in great detail. Since you work with kids, how many times did I need to ask for my child back before it became kidnapping? The answer is 1 and she knows it. You don't try to leave the room with someone's child after they've requested you return them, and if she doesn't know that, then she doesn't know anything about looking after children. She isn't your friend. No Salamander 7749 says, I think this is a lesson in why you should talk to your friends about their behavior before it reaches a boiling point. For that, I'm tempted to give you a gentle everybody sucks here. But Emily's behavior in refusing to give you back your infant child was absolutely 100% out of line. And it seems like you were doing your best to keep her feelings in mind as well. Shouting at her wasn't the ideal way to go about it, but when she puts you in a position like that, it's kind of hard to see a different way that could have gone. So tough. I feel like some people may disagree. I vote not the a-hole. I think it's important to consider what you want going forward. If you want to remain friends, I think you should reach out to her and ask to meet for coffee, sans baby, or something and talk things out. Apologize for shouting at her and for not talking to her about it before it reached a boiling point. But she has to recognize that she was completely out of line in refusing to hand your son back over to you. Good luck with this one. And Hootie Owl Scissors says, not the a-hole. You don't come between a mother and her child. Somebody doesn't have clapping emojis. Having said that, Emily clearly wants a baby. I would maybe give her a couple of days to cool off, and then maybe you or the group could gently approach her and ask if she does long to be a mother and if she's considered adoption. She sounds like a very unhappy woman who has been filling a void in her life with other people's children. Obviously, some therapy wouldn't be amiss either. Alright, well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole, but they also are hinting that OP should try to talk to Emily to see if something can be done or if she even wants to remain friends. Now, OP did not reply to any comments or make an edit, which means we move on straight to the update to see how this story ends. Thank you all for your comments. I was happy to see that I wasn't completely out of line with my outburst, but I agree that the way we had been handling or not handling the situation wasn't good. We tried contacting Emily right after that incident, but she just messaged our group chat that she was busy and she'll get back to us. I managed to get a hold of her after the post and invited her to have coffee at my place on Sunday. We met with one other friend from the group. We thought having all of us there might be too much pressure. My husband took the baby to see my in-laws, so he wasn't there. It was a bit awkward and it didn't get better. I started by apologizing for shouting at her, but told her that keeping my child from me wasn't acceptable behavior from anyone. I told her that we know that she is good with kids and the kids like Aunt Emily very much, but sometimes she oversteps and gets in the way of how we want to parent our children. My friend gave a couple of examples of the situations, but Emily refused to see any problem with her behavior. Emily got really defensive and told us that we are really ungrateful for all the help she has given, and she has put so much effort into kids that aren't even hers. I told her that of course we are grateful for the help and all we need is for her to be a bit more mindful in certain situations. She doubled down on nothing being wrong about the way she acts. She also started getting nasty about our parenting and bringing up things that we did wrong. I know myself and my friends sometimes make mistakes, as do all parents, but my friends are great moms who love their kids and would do anything for them. Then she got really angry and told me that I don't deserve my child as I didn't even want him. Background to this was that I was hesitant to keep my child when I found out I was pregnant, since I had some mental health issues and I was really scared that I would get postpartum depression and might not handle taking care of a baby. I'm so happy that I decided to have him, but it was tough back then, even with my husband being really supportive. Anyway, that was the final straw and I kicked her out and told her she will never be allowed around my child. After she left, we called the others and told them what happened. We decided that we would take a step back from Emily for now, and Emily has since blocked all of us on everything. One of our other mutual friends told us that Emily has been making Facebook posts about fake friends who don't appreciate her help and advice. She's not naming names, but everyone knows she's talking about us. Most people have seen her in action at get-togethers, so they understand where we're coming from. For now, we are keeping our distance, and maybe if she realizes the problem and apologizes, then we might reconsider. Why do they always go and rant on Facebook? I don't get it. Anyways, OP, you tried to talk to her, she just wouldn't accept anything and then got nasty. So yeah, kicking her out seems absolutely reasonable. I know you're hoping for her to realize her mistakes, but it doesn't sound like that's gonna happen. If it does, it's a nice surprise, but I wouldn't hold my breath. So on that note, here's wishing you the best in the future. Thanks for sharing and take care. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I Wrong, and it's by user MaterialTowel8051. Ex-girlfriend who broke up with me because I won't have a tattoo of her name wants to reconcile after 2 years. Am I wrong for telling her to F off? We dated for 2 years. She loved tattoos and maybe had 6 tattoos when we were dating. To be honest, I don't like tattoos, but I don't judge people for having them. Once we had an argument on a topic that she had a tattoo right over her vagina written as James's property. James is my surname. She said she had done this for me. I appreciated her, but also told her it wasn't necessary. I told her she doesn't need to show her love by marking her body, and I love her for being herself. She took it offensively and started to argue with me, saying I don't love her and I don't appreciate her efforts for our relationship. We had an argument, but were able to solve it and pass through it. Then she asked me to have a tattoo of her name in my neck as her birthday present. She knew that I absolutely hated tattoos, and I do participate in blood donation events, so it's a big no for me. I told her she can ask anything, but I won't get any tattoos. She again started to argue with me, but I was firm with my decision. Then she lost it, called me names, shouted at me, and accused me for using her. I couldn't believe what I was hearing from her at that moment. I realized that our relationship was getting toxic. I wanted to end it, but wanted to give it another go because I loved her. To my surprise, she broke up with me, saying she can't be with someone who doesn't love her. Before I could do anything, I found myself blocked in her every social media. 2 years passed since then, and I'm in a lot better position right now. I'm doing really well, and I'm earning a fair income too. I gained new hobbies, I met new people and became friends with them. But last night, I got plenty of messages from my ex asking how I was. I wasn't expecting this because I almost forgot that she existed because of the way we parted ways, but I didn't reply to any of them. During midnight, I get a bunch of calls from her, but I didn't pick up any of them. In the early morning, she again called me and was sending me messages continuously. Finally, I picked her call and she said we need to talk. I asked her about what, and she immediately said she made a huge mistake by breaking up with me, that she misses me and she wants me back. She also said she won't force me for anything again and will try to remove those tattoos if I want. I was listening to her, but for some reason I didn't feel anything. It's maybe because my life became more beautiful without her in these 2 years and don't want to sacrifice it. I just said F off and never try to contact me again. Then I blocked her. Don't know what I did was right or wrong, but I shared it with some of my friends today. Some of them said I did the right thing. Some of them said I was extra cruel on her for saying it because she was trying to get a chance to fix our broken relationship. Am I wrong? Well, OP, in my opinion, you're kind of half wrong. It's not wrong to tell her not to contact you again or that you're not interested. But maybe saying, F off, it's a little bit harsh. Granted, when she broke up with you, she called you a few names or wasn't nice, and she doesn't seem to be the most stable person. But being courteous doesn't take away from being courageous. You could have said something like, thanks for your call, I'm not really interested and I have moved on. I wish you the best in the future. Take care and please don't contact me again. And then you hang up and block her. And what do you guys think? Do you think OP was wrong to do what he did or how he did it? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's go check out the community comments. Lido the Girl 33 says, "You're not wrong. Sounds like she just threw out a bunch of how much she missed you and won't make you do this or that, but never truly apologized for her emotional immaturity. You've already created a new chapter in your life. Just keep moving forward." PSN Sandwich 127 says, "Mate, you did the right thing. Your life has peace and happiness in it. She sounds so toxic, even Mountie Burns would feel guilty about dumping her in a lake. You've moved on, and by the sounds of it, a million miles from where you used to be. Stay happy and find someone that compliments you in your life." And Grand Wrangler 8302 says, "We'll never be wrong for standing your ground and prioritizing your own happiness and values. If you feel that reconciling with her could potentially bring back toxicity into your life, then it might not be the right move. Your life is better without her. Why risk everything? You just did what you think is right for you." And OP responds, "Nah, I'm not reconciling with her. I'm very good with my life now. If my friends are ready to ditch me for this, I'm perfectly okay with this." Well, the community agrees that OP is not wrong, and OP told us in that reply that he's just definitely not reconciling with her. But of course, we have an update, so we know more stuff happened. Now let's move on with that and see how this story ends. First of all, I'd really like to thank you all for the support you guys have shown. To be honest, I wasn't expecting this, but still it means a lot to me. I got an update on my current situation, which I'd like to share. Almost every one of you guys told me to block her, which I already did, and move on. I was determined to move on, but my ex seems like she had other plans. Since I blocked her contact number, she started to spam call me. Every time I blocked the number, I'd get another call from a new number, and it was my ex, asking me to meet her once, and she wants to see me desperately. BS. I wanted to change my number, but it's hard because my job requires a healthy communication with my coworkers, and they always contact me on this number. I was getting spam calls from her, but later I started to get spam messages from her friends saying to man up and meet up with her. They said she's badly hurt by my actions and she still loves me a lot. They also said my ex didn't date anyone in the past 2 years and has been celibate because she was working on herself to be a better person for me. More BS. They said many more things, but I just blocked them without replying. Then I started to get spam calls from them too. What the F is wrong with these people? I picked up a few calls and they were absolutely furious on me. Bad-mouthing me, cussing me, calling me names, calling me nut of a man, and saying they will find a better person for my ex than me. That I'm a piece of crap and don't deserve my ex at all, blah blah blah. I just laughed loudly, which maybe made them more furious. I just told them I noted their contact numbers and now I'm going to take legal action. To my surprise, their calling stopped immediately, and since then, none of them called me once. Cowards. Now, here I did something which can make you guys angry. I met with my ex today because she promised me that she will leave me alone and never bother me again if I agreed to meet up with her once. I believed her and told her that I'll meet up with her in a nearby restaurant. She said she will book a table for us and we fixed a time for the meetup. When I reached the spot, I saw her waiting on a table. This is the first time I saw her in 2 years and she didn't change that much. The only thing changed is that she got some more tattoos on her hand and on her shoulders. She was a brunette, but now she colored her hair blonde. She proceeded to hug me, but I rejected. I told her that I'm in a hurry because my girlfriend is waiting for me. It's not true because I'm not dating anyone and I have no interest to spend time with my ex. She looked hurt, took her eyes down for a minute and regained herself, saying she understands and she won't take much time. She asked me to sit and I did. She then apologized for how she ended things between us and how she regretted it every single day. She said she was a crappy person back then and now she can realize how much damage she had done to our relationship. She again apologized to me, saying she understands if I want nothing to do with her, if I hate her or don't want to see her again. I was silent and hearing all these things and I could see tears were rolling from her eyes. I just told her that I don't hate you and I'm sorry for being rude to you in a call and I congratulate you for improving yourself and being a better person. She thanked me. I asked her if she still had the tattoo on her. She said yes, and she has no intention to remove it. I told her to remove it and move on with her life. Then I told her I need to leave, and she said she wished all the happiness for me, and she's happy because I finally met someone who will take good care of me. I thanked her. She said she will keep her promise and she will never contact me again, but she wished one day we can be friends in the future. She then said goodbye and both of us walked away in different directions. So that's it. I didn't get any calls or text from her or her friends since then. I feel like that this is a closure I really needed, and now I'm free in my life. I feel fresh and I can move on with my life without any types of hesitation. I wish her the best and hope that she finds true love in her life. Thanks everyone. I really appreciate all of you for showing the support. Thank you once again. Well, OP, you said you just met with your ex today, so maybe the calls and messages or emails or whatever haven't started yet. Honestly, if she keeps her word, good for her and hopefully she can move on. But from everything you've told us, I wouldn't put it past her to go back on her word and start spamming you again. So maybe you do want to think about changing your number and just sending an email to your coworker saying that you changed your number and that's it. But again, hopefully I am super wrong and she's able to move on. So on that note, here's wishing you the best in the future, OP. Thank you so much for sharing and take care. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.